population. I mean, we're too many people. That's why we have global warming. We have global warming because too many people are using too much stuff. Not doing it is suicide.
For each American, it's about 20 tons. For people in poor countries, it's less than 1 ton. It's an average about 5 tons for everyone on the planet. And somehow we have to make changes that will bring that down to zero. It's been constantly going up. It's only various economic changes that have even flattened it at all. So we have to go from rapidly rising to falling and falling all the way to zero. This equation has 4 factors, a little bit of multiplication. So you've got a thing on the left, CO2, that you want to get to zero. And that's going to be based on the number of people, the services each person's using on average, the energy on average for each service, and the CO2 being put out per unit of energy. So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. That's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
But there we see an increase of about 1.3. The second factor is the services we use. This encompasses...
One of the most interesting stories that happened recently was in Los Angeles with a Mr. Joe Moshe, M-O-S-H-E, which people can Google and find themselves. On Thursday, he was surrounded by a SWAT team after he had called in last week to Dr. Truott's show on Republic Broadcasting and called in asking if there was a state's attorney or someone he could give evidence to because he was apparently a biological scientist with a dual citizenship in Israel. And he had evidence that the Baxter had a Ukraine lab actually not making a vaccine but making a bioweapon that was going to cause a plague when the vaccine was released. Now, of course, True didn't believe him at first, but what happened is immediately after the next day, a SWAT team, literally an army, surrounded his Volkswagen Beetle in West Los Angeles. They hit his car 4 times with pepper cannons, and then they sent in a robot after he just sat in the car, and apparently they were surprised that he didn't kind of cough and choke and come out. They sent in a robot to break a back window, and they tasered him and hauled him out through the windows. Apparently, because of his dual citizenship, he got extradited to Israel, and we haven't heard from him since, but...
Bizalmas jelentés. Tárgy a Raccoon City-ben történt katasztrófa előzményei. Termékei a lakások 90%-ában megtalálhatók. Jelentős politikai és gazdasági befolyásra tett szert. A közvélemény úgy tudja, számítógép technológiát, orvosi felszereléseket és műszereket gyárt. Még saját alkalmazottai előtt is titok, hogy bevételének javarésze haditechnikából, génkísérletekből és biológiai fegyverekből származik. A kaptár.
Köszönjük, fiúk, és most folytassuk más témákkal. Az egészségügyi híreket Keren mondja el.
Az orvostudomány sok csodát felmutatott már a gyermekbénulás elleni oltástól a szívátültetésig. Ám minden korábbi eredmény elhalványul dr. Alice Crippin műve mellett. Köszönöm, hogy megtisztel minket. Nincs mit. Szóval, doktornő, összefoglalná, miről van szó? Nos, a koncepció roppant egyszerű. Fogunk valamit, amit a természet alkotott, és átprogramozzuk úgy, hogy a testnek dolgozzon, és ne ellene. Ez a valami egy vírus? Pontosan. Ez esetben a bárányhimlő vírus, amit genetikailag úgy módosítottunk, hogy használjon és ne ártson. Akkor tehát megtalálták a rák ellenszerét? Igen, igen. Megtaláltuk.
3 évvel később.
Hogy aludtál? Dr. Neville veszi górcső alá Dr. Alice Crippen egykor istenített rákellenes csodagyógyszerének szaporodó mutációit. Eddig a génmódosított vírussal kezelt betegek közül csak nem 5000-nél a veszettség kezdeti tüneteit diagnosztizálták. 25-en már meg is haltak. Dr. Neville vírusölő gyógyszerek beszerzésére kéri a helyi kórházakat, valamint a karantén bevezetését sürgeti. A kormányzó mai nyilatkozata szerint
van a szülinapon?